Well, guys and girls, Dave here, of course. All right, so let's do this right. So behind me is one of the PowerMaster openers that I had an earlier video on. It at the shop, and I kind of did, when I opened up the box, I did a review on it. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're going to go through it. I'm kind of biased on this opener. Maybe it's just because it's gloom and doom out today, so I'm kind of just in that blah mode, you know. All I'm thinking about is a couch and a nap. But anyways, I'll go through some stuff, the pros and the cons, and you guys decide in the comments below if it's something that you're interested in or like it, or what you don't like about it, and we'll go from there. And I'll just give you my honest and open opinion on it. Dang, got lucky on that one.
High control.
Oh, gotcha.
Same my first rodeo.
Uh-huh.
Almost had that famous last word.
Okay, so instructions are nice. I'm glad that they have everything laid out for us here. You can see that it's lit up now. Let's see if I can get around on the right here. Nothing too crazy. It tells you it's on the limits, yada yada yada. You got your limit nuts. Supposedly, my installer said that these holes did not line up on the rail that we waited for a very long time for, which was the shipping company's fault. So he had to drill them. I don't understand why. I don't know if maybe he had the wrong end. I asked him about that. He said he didn't flip it, but he assumed it was like LiftMaster and the holes would be the same. There were 3 of them, but he did have to drill them. So that is something to be aware of. What I do love is I love this guy right here. I love the fact that we can put a receiver on here with dip switches. So when this customer loses his remotes, we can have that on file and we can give him another remote with no problems without having to come back out here and charge him a service call and all that jazz. So I think that's awesome. And do remember that it does have the single button in here. A single, let's go right here. That terminal right there is a single. And that allows you to put a different receiver on here, so you're not married into the LiftMaster product, which I absolutely love. So that's very beneficial. One thing to note on the rail is a different is kind of a different material than the LiftMaster. It's almost more of a raw, it reminds me of chain link fence. It's just pretty grainy. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. It seems like it's something that might wear out the trolley, which we'll take a ride down there and take a look at the trolley, and I'll tell you a couple more things about that. Okay, so on the J-bar, my technician was telling me that the end of this J-bar was so square that he literally had to grind off some of the material. So it sounds like it was binding in this pivot point on the back side, so he had to grind some off. Let's take it off since we're here. Hopefully it's not pinned down too hard. I'll do that just for you guys. So let's take a look at what he had to do. Yep, he definitely had to grind it. Yep, he definitely had to grind it. So that's something to take in consideration when you're trying to use a operator bracket, that guy is not might not fit in there. Another thing that seems a little bit of a nuisance is that you got to put this bolt in here. So I don't know why they don't just do a roll pin. I don't know if that's something to do with copyrights of like a LiftMaster and that's how they got around it, or why they don't put a roll pin in, or if ours just didn't come with a roll pin. But it just seems kind of like something that you shouldn't have to do as a technician in the field. Pretty straightforward on the trolley. You got your pin up in the front here where you pin the your master link in here. You got your adjuster here. So nothing too snazzy up here. One thing I did notice that caught me off guard was when you look at this pulley doesn't have that centerpiece like the LiftMaster does. So it looks like my chain's all kittywampus, but that's just how it rides. That's just how it rolls. So, oh, one other thing too, my technician said that he would like to see, which I'm not discounting, is on these, let's see if I can get up here. On these guys, he wanted one more. There's only two, is what we were furnished. And he'd like to have one more, possibly. It doesn't look like it's going to be a problem at all, just from what I can tell. But that's just something from an installer's point of view. So that's all I see about in it. Otherwise, it seems to be working pretty good. We're going to give it the old college try here. We're going to let her run for hopefully many years with no problems, we hope, and we go from there. You know, I just want to say one other thing too, just to keep in consideration, that when you have this receiver here, it just came to me as I was putting the cover on this opener, is that you have options with this, and this is what I like. It just dawned to me where I come into a situation. So for instance, this is a brand new install for us. The customer might complain about the range of the remote, right? Because it's a metal building, and they're going to say, you know, the range is just not good. Now, instead of me having to change a bunch of things or change the receiver to a more expensive one and do coax and all that kind of stuff, I can literally go buy some wires down the road from Lowe's, and I could take this receiver and I can actually go mount it up to the header somewhere, up there, poke a hole in the building. I have a lot more options, and that's what I like, because I don't know about you guys, but every situation is different. And some buildings, they work, or receivers and whatnot, there's the signal of the remote work, and then sometimes they don't. So I like to have options that right now, if that doesn't work, I don't have to be concerned where I gotta go get a LiftMaster brand that's only gonna work with LiftMaster, and I gotta get coax, which we're not used to carrying all that stuff in the coax. Then I turn into a cable TV guy, and then I gotta actually learn how to splice it, because you gotta splice it right. It's not bulletproof. If you don't get enough, you know how it is. If you don't get enough wires through that coax, it won't work. With this, take the box off, go mount it, like I said, up to the header somewhere or wherever you want. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work. So that's just another reason why I really, really thoroughly enjoy these guys. the PowerMasters for putting the 3 terminals on the side. LiftMaster got it away. LiftMaster, tell you what, if you're listening, comment below, because my thing is, or my guess is, it's corporate greed is what it is. And I don't like corporate greed. We had them before, they took them away. I don't care what they say, oh, this and that, but as far as I'm concerned, I want to have options. So anyways, just a little tip. So anyway, guys, I hope this is beneficial for you. I'm liking the PowerMaster. I think we should definitely encourage it, since they are still using the 3 terminals on the side. It's something a little different. I'm pleased with it. It does sound a little bit noisier when it runs, but I can look aside to that, especially for applications like this. So yeah, but comment below what you guys think about it. If it's something that you might try in your industry, or if you have any questions, or I don't know, just let me know if you like or dislike it. I'm kind of biased on it, so I'm going to try another one though, since we got an extra rail because of the transportation. It was just a big mess. So just remember that if this customer ended up waiting, I think about 5 weeks, so that was not a good first impression. So we actually provided him with an extra strut and some weather seal on the side to just help with that. So anyways, hope you guys are having a great day. Like, comment, subscribe below, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.